Of the OHCHR.
The Russian Federation's invasion of Ukraine has thrown us back to an archaic era. An era when a neighboring country's territory could be attacked and taken at will as one's own, when the identity and history of communities could be denied and reality rewritten. The UN Charter was supposed to put an end to such atavistic thinking. But today, a nation is struggling to survive. After 13 months of the Russian Federation's war against Ukraine, severe violations of human rights and international humanitarian law have become shockingly routine. These figures are just the tip of the iceberg. Using the rigorous methodology of my office, our staff have verified more than 8,400 civilian deaths and over 14,000 civilians wounded since 20 February of last year. These figures are just the tip of the iceberg. Most of the casualties resulted from the Russian forces' use of wide-impact explosive weaponry in residential neighborhoods. In occupied areas of Ukraine, we have documented numerous summary executions and targeted attacks on civilians since February last year by Russia's military forces, including affiliated armed groups such as the Wagner Group. We have also documented 621 cases of enforced disappearances and arbitrary detention. Civilians have been transferred to occupied territory or to the Russian Federation. They include children and adults who had been housed in social care institutions, as well as unaccompanied children living in areas of Ukraine occupied or temporarily controlled by Russian forces. Mr. President, the Russian Federation, however, gave us no access, despite multiple requests, meaning that interviews with Ukrainian prisoners of war could take place only after they had been released. More than 90% of Ukrainian prisoners of war that my office interviewed said that they were tortured or ill-treated, notably in penitentiary facilities, including through so-called, it's an awful word, welcoming beatings on their arrival, as well as frequent acts of torture throughout detention. Almost half of the Russian POWs who were interviewed indicated that they had been tortured or ill-treated. Most of these acts of torture reportedly occurred soon after capture. We did not find a sustained pattern of severe ill-treatment in more permanent places of internment. Even amidst the bloodshed of war, the rules of international humanitarian law especially protect the lives and dignity of civilians, wounded and sick soldiers and prisoners of war. Nobody is above these laws. Numerous summary executions and targeted attacks. I speak for many when I say that I will never forget the photographs of a dying, heavily pregnant woman being carried on a stretcher from the bombed-out ruins of Mariupol Maternity Hospital in March 2022. All these victims have a right to justice and to a just peace, in which at least 50 Ukrainian prisoners of war. At a time when humanity faces overwhelming existential challenges, this destructive war is tugging us away from the work of building solutions, the work of ensuring our survival. This war defies any reason. This madness must end and peace be found in line with the United Nations Charter and international law.